You'll probably have noticed that there are still two toolbars visible on this screen. On the left hand side there is the draw toolbar, and on the right there is the modify toolbar. And essentially the modify toolbar contains tools that are for editing a drawing, whereas on the left the draw toolbar contains mainly tools that are for drawing objects like lines, circles and rectangles. So I'm going to just choose the line tool first of all, and if I click somewhere in the screen and then click again and then click again, you can see that I can draw a series of lines, and I'd like you to have a go at this as well. And I'm just going to draw lines all over the screen, but what you need to do, as well as I'm doing, is to make sure that these lines, some of them, these lines cross each other, and I'll show you why in a minute, but just get the sense of how easy it is to draw straight lines in a CAD program. There we go, that'll do, that's loads there. And then I'm going to press the escape button to get out of the line command, the line tool, and I'm now going to select a modify tool, the trim tool, and using a crossing selection from, well, I can choose anywhere to the right of the drawing, but I'm going to choose down in that little corner to the bottom right, and then just crossing the whole drawing. I'm selecting all of those lines and then I'm pressing the return key. Now what happens if I start clicking on lines? Well, what it's doing is it's trimming them, and it's trimming them using one set of lines. Where a line crosses another line, it can become a cutting edge. So in fact that line was crossed by two lines, so they cut it like that, whereas where it's crossed by one, it'll just, there you go. So have a go with this and just go around the drawing, and in fact try and get it to the stage where you can't trim any more lines at all. And whoops, there we go. So there we go, that's the trim tool and the line tool in one go essentially. And I'm just going to press the escape key so that I can select all of these lines, and then I'm going to press delete. Well, that was so much fun, I'm going to do it all over again. So I'm just going to go and reselect the line tool, and left clicking in the screen at random locations, just drawing a lot of lines to fill my screen up, and do have a go at this. And you've probably guessed that I've got a slightly different purpose in mind this time, but here we go. There, that's nearly enough. Okay, now I'm just pressing the escape button to finish that, and this time I'm going to select a different modify tool, the extend tool, and I'm just going to click on that, and then I'm going to select all of these lines with a crossing selection and press return once I've clicked up in this corner as well. And then if I just start clicking on the lines, you can see straight away what's happening. They're extending, and they're extending as far as there are other lines to extend to. I can't extend that one anymore because there's no more boundaries. Basically they need to extend to a boundary which is created by a line, and again I can't extend that one anymore. And it's worth making the point that a line will extend in the direction that you choose depending on which side of the half of the midpoint of a line you are. So if I'm that side of the midpoint, it'll extend that way. If I'm that side, it will extend that way. There we go. And you can just keep extending lines right the way through the drawing as long as there are boundaries to extend to. So have a go at that one too. I'm just pressing the escape key and windowing the whole lot and pressing delete to clear the screen. So that's the extend tool.